Hello, and welcome to the Babe Bulletin podcast, where we talk self-love, empowerment, boudoir, and anything else that makes us feel like a total babe. I am Alicia. I am your podcast host, and I am a boudoir photographer in Port Washington, Wisconsin. Hello, I'm so happy that you're here and that you're listening. My brain is mush today. Do you ever just have those days where you're like, I cannot put words into a sentence? Yes, that is my day today. So just bear with me. Have a little gentleness and a little kindness for me today. I'm going to try my very best, but I just feel like I'm working with soup. I just got soup up there today. I don't know what's going on. I already had caffeine. I did not sleep well. Maybe that's what's doing it. I'm not sure. But you know what? I'm going to try to give myself a little bit of grace. And I am asking that you do the same. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, I'm a boudoir photographer and I come across mistakes here and there that people make when they're booking a session. If you have been thinking about doing a boudoir shoot and you want this really exciting and empowering experience, awesome. It can also feel a little bit nerve-wracking, and I get that. So I want to work through some of those mistakes that I see people doing so that when you want to book your session, you can avoid them and have like the best experience ever. So let's start with number one, which is waiting until the last minute. I see this mistake a lot. And if you are hoping to have images by a certain date or time, like maybe for a wedding or an anniversary or something like that, you do not want to be scrambling to fit in a session just weeks before the big day. At my studio, I recommend like 6 weeks. That way there's no rush, there's no stress. I have time to retouch everything and we have time to get your artwork in because everything is handmade at my lab. So it does take a while to make and to ship. If you're like, I'm getting married in 2 weeks and I want to book a boudoir session, it's going to be really hard, pretty much impossible to get images ready by then. Plus, your studio, the photographer that you might really resonate with and really like, they're probably already booked. They won't be able to fit you in. I think the boudoir should be about taking your time and feeling comfortable. So I would recommend giving yourself plenty of time to plan and prepare and just enjoy the experience. My advice, like I said, book 6 weeks out, just so that you've got enough time for everything from wardrobe shopping to product delivery. Next, you gotta communicate your vision. This session is about you. This is your shoot, your style, your comfort level, and what makes you feel really amazing. But if you don't communicate with your photographer, then maybe you're not going to get the results that you're hoping for. I literally just did a session yesterday where my client sent me inspiration pictures that she really liked. On her consult, we talked about kind of the vibe that she was going for, which was a little more delicate, feminine. We made sure that her posing was very like gentle touch kind of stuff. We didn't do anything like super duper sexual or super duper sexy, although the photo's still very hot. That's just not what she wanted to create. And she wanted to go outside and shoot with flowers, which I went and did location scouting for. I found the flowers in October and I made sure that that's where we did her photos. I'm glad she shared this with me because then we were able to create a session that checked all of the boxes for her. So I'm super thrilled she shared because if she hadn't, she might have been really disappointed with the outcome because I wouldn't have known what she wanted. Now, I, of course, always ask these questions because maybe you haven't given it any thought yet, and that's okay. If you're just a 100% go with the flow person, that's cool too. But if you have an idea or a preference, don't be shy. Share that with your photographer. Maybe there are certain poses that you really want to do, or you've got a wardrobe idea, or there's just this like energy and vibe that you want to create. The more that your photographer knows, the better they can tailor the session specifically for you and your unique personality. And I can tell you as a photographer, that's really what I want to do for my clients. I want to make a session that feels like you and that accomplishes what you want to get done. Now, I just mentioned consultations. I think they're really important. And if you skip the pre-session consult, you are making a mistake. This is when we talk. This is when we chat about goals and we go over details that's going to make the session a success. During the consult, we like to talk about wardrobe options. I sometimes bring up like products that people are interested in if we haven't had a chance to talk about that yet. I like to give tips on how to prep and get ready so that you're feeling as prepared as possible. And then when your session finally rolls around, you're like, I'm not as nervous as I thought I would be because I know what to expect. Instead, you get to just focus on being excited. And that's a way better feeling to have. I want to make sure that my clients feel confident and ready to rock their session, which is why consults are very important to me, specifically for like my full sessions. Sometimes you can get away with, not doing them if it's like a mini or some kind of session special where like we're not spending as much time together. But if you've booked a full shoot, do not miss out on your consultation because it really can be a great way to like connect with your photographer a little bit more and share those ideas that we just talked about, that vision that you might have. Consults are a great time to share that. Another mistake that I see people coming across every now and then is that they're focusing too much on their weight or their size. And they're thinking, I have to lose weight or become a certain shape before I can book a session. And that's just not true. I am here to tell you that Boudoir is about celebrating your body exactly as it is right now in this moment. You deserve to be documented. You deserve to be kind to yourself. You deserve to have gentleness with yourself, regardless of your size or shape. Your beauty and your confidence and your strength, all of that is worth celebrating right now. And trust your photographer to make sure that trust your photographer to create images that make you feel that way, that make you feel incredible. Please, please, please do not let the idea of needing to change hold you back from a really empowering experience. Nothing about you needs to change in order to have a really fantastic, celebratory, joyful, and spicy time in a boudoir studio. You can do it right now at whatever weight or size you're at. I think we miss out on too much of life when we wait to live it until we are a certain size, boudoir or not. Please don't wait to book that vacation or to go to the beach or to get married or what have you until you are a certain size. This is it, right? This is the one life we get. And if we wait to live it until the scale says something, then we are just missing out on way too much of a very limited gift that we have. And last but not least, take advantage of those prepayment plan perks if your studio offers them. Investing in boudoir photography, it's an investment in yourself. I think it's one that's worth every penny, but I'm not going to pretend like it's a quote unquote cheap experience. It's not. I totally get that this can feel like a big financial commitment. It is. It definitely is. And so why not make the most of that? One mistake that I see people make is not taking advantage of payment plans. And honestly, a payment plan in general can just make the entire experience more manageable and stress-free. I just had a consultation this morning with someone who set up a prepayment plan. And now when she comes in for her shoot on Friday, she doesn't have to pull out her wallet at all. We're done. We're ready to go. And she doesn't have to think about it. It's done. By spreading out the cost over time, it's nice because you can enjoy the experience without having to worry about some large like upfront cost. Plus, like I said, at my studio, you could set up a prepayment plan and then that comes with perks like special artwork and bonuses and more images and things like that, which can make your session even more rewarding. So make sure you ask your photographer about payment plans, and if they have them available, take advantage of it. Why not? If they've got bonus perks, definitely take advantage of that. Like, I love free stuff. No shade. I love a good freebie. So if your studio is offering you an upgrade or more art, take advantage of that, all right? Hopefully, we've gone through 5 mistakes that I see a lot, and hopefully you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure I don't do those when I book my boudoir session. These studio experiences, man, they're all about empowerment and confidence and self-love. And I just want to make sure you are getting the most out of your session as humanly possible. All right. Before we jump into this week's Babe of the Week, a couple of ways that you can support the podcast. Please, if you've got 2 minutes, you can leave us a review or rate our podcast on just about any podcast provider. And don't forget to subscribe. That really, really helps us out a lot in the podcast charts. The best way that you can support the podcast is by booking a boudoir shoot. If you want to do that with me, you can head to bucksandboudoir.com and all of my info and work can be found there, and you can reach out. We will set up a discovery call and chat about your needs and your wants for a session. You can also follow me on social media, pretty much everywhere at Bucks and Boudoir. Let's talk about this week's Babe of the Week. Did you know that a lot of people don't hit their stride until after 40? I think women, folks in general, but I think women especially feel a lot of pressure to be accomplished and have everything together by like their 20s. And that is just so unrealistic. I didn't know anything in my 20s. And a great example of changing our minds and doing new things and becoming successful in a different way after 40 is Lori Locust. Where are my football fans at, right? I am a Packers fan. I actually did not know about Lori until my husband told me about her. Because I don't really follow anyone but the Packers. But Lori is really, really cool. She started her career in sports a little bit later than most, and she made her mark as a coach in the NFL, which is so awesome because when you think NFL, you don't really think female coaches. Her passion for football ignited in her 30s, and she decided, I'm going to pursue coaching opportunities that are really dominated by men, but she went for it. I think this is such a good reminder that we can become passionate about different things at different stages in our life. What you liked in your 20s might not be what you care about in your 40s or your 50s, and that's really cool. And not only is it not too late, but we can become really, really good at those things, like Lori. In 2019, she became the first female coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's awesome because she was making history in a league where women are still very much underrepresented. Her dedication and her hard work opened up doors for herself, but for countless women who aspire to break those barriers in male-dominated fields too. I think that's really cool. Her story reminds me, and hopefully you as well as you're listening to this, that it really is not too late to follow your dreams. And I know that's cliche. Follow your dreams. It's never too late. But cliches are there for a reason. Cliches exist because they're true. So here's your reminder. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. You can redefine your path and you can inspire other people along the way. And I will and forever be a Packers fan first and foremost, but I will also say I am rooting for Lori to kick ass in the NFL as a defensive coach. Yay, go Lori. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will leave you with a reminder that I always leave you, which is that your body is a good body. You deserve gentleness and kindness. You deserve to be nice to yourself and go out and be like Lori. Find something new to be passionate about and explore it and get really good at it. I will talk to you all again in another episode. Bye.